Satoshi and his friends have missed the ferry to the next town, so they have a few hours to kill. While waiting around the port, our heroes witness a ship exploding and help out with the rescue effort. After everyone has been taken to safety, the Obaba from Hatoba port, the cousin of the Obaba in Apulaco, is revealed to be the owner of the boat. She explains how she's trying to build a hotel on top of the ocean, but the Menacourage in the area keep attacking the vessels she sends out. So, she decides to offer a reward to anyone who can help exterminate the Pokemon. The Rocket Dan appear and offer to help out, but the liquid they had brought along to stun the Pokemon ends up making one of the Docucourage grow to gigantic proportions. The giant Docucourage and the hundreds of Menacourage begin attacking Hatoba port while explaining, with the help of the Rocket Dan's Nyath, that they're upset because their home is being destroyed by the construction. Kasumi, with the help of a Tatsu she had befriended earlier, are eventually able to reason with the Pokemon and convince them of the sincerity of their apology. The jellyfish Pokemon leave, warning the humans that if they ever endanger their homes again, they will show no mercy. Later, as our heroes ride on the ferry to the next town, Kasumi plays with her new Pokemon, Tatsu, while remembering the importance of respecting the ocean and all who live in it. Our heroes have arrived at Maiden's Peak where a festival is taking place. Takeshi is upset, however, because the summer has come and gone and he still hasn't found himself a girlfriend. Suddenly, a beautiful young woman appears before Takeshi and then vanishes in an instant. Later, at a shrine in the area, a Shinto priest unveils a painting of the woman Takeshi had seen and tells the gathered crowd that the woman perished over 2,000 years ago. The young maiden had been waiting on a cliff for her beloved to return, but he never did. Moved by the young woman's dedication, Takeshi decides to stay up at the shrine all night to think things over. Eventually, it is revealed that the ghost of the maiden is haunting the area, so Satoshi and his friends buy some antique ghost charms to keep the ghost at bay. Later that night, the phantom returns and reveals itself to be the ghost-type Pokemon, Goze. Satoshi and Toki attempt to battle it with their Pokemon, but Goze is able to easily claim victory. Eventually, the morning sun comes, causing Goze to retreat. Before it leaves, however, it tells everyone not to forget about the maiden. As the summer festival comes to a close, our heroes celebrate the end of the season before preparing for Satoshi's next gym battle. On the way to Yumabuki City, our heroes witness a flock of Butterfree gathered in one area. Takeshi explains that it's the Butterfree's mating season and that each of the butterfly Pokemon are trying to find a partner to mate with. Satoshi, wanting his Butterfree to get in on the fun, lets it out of its monster ball to join the others. However, it has trouble attracting a mate. Satoshi and his friends attempt to coach Butterfree in the ways of love, but the Pokemon's feelings toward a pink Butterfree in the flock go unnoticed. Suddenly, the Rocket Dan appear in a helicopter and start scooping up all the Pokemon in a giant net. Satoshi's Butterfree escapes capture and is able to lead its trainer to the trio's base where our heroes are able to successfully free the kidnapped Pokemon. The Rocket Dan get back into their helicopter to recapture the Pokemon, but Butterfree, with the help of Pikachu, is able to defeat the Pokemon thieves once and for all. Butterfree's heroic acts are noticed by the pink Butterfree, and the two decide to cross the ocean to lay their eggs. Satoshi tries to fight back the tears as he bids farewell to his Pokemon, wishing it the best of luck with its new girlfriend. Satoshi and Toki have finally arrived in Yumabuki City. When they get there they are greeted by the Rocket Dan, who promptly kidnaps Satoshi's Pikachu. There doesn't seem to be any way for Satoshi and his friends to retrieve it until a little girl shows up and, using her psychic powers, rescues Pikachu. The girl then teleports Satoshi and Toki to the city's Pokemon gym, where Satoshi wastes no time in challenging the gym leader Natsume. Natsume's psychic type Yongela is much too powerful for Satoshi's Pikachu, so Natsume gains an easy victory. The little girl from before, who had been sitting in Natsume's lap during the battle, decides that the consequence for Satoshi's loss is to play with her. So, She uses her powers to shrink Satoshi Toki and then transports them all into a dollhouse. Satoshi Toki are about to be crushed by a ball thrown by the little girl when a mysterious bearded man appears and teleports them away. Once they get to safety, the man tells Satoshi that there's a slim chance that Satoshi can beat Natsume's psychic Pokemon if he comes back with a ghost-type Pokemon from Shintown. With that, Satoshi sets off to get a Pokemon that will help him defeat the powerful gym leader. Will his strategy work? To be continued. Satoshi and his friends are on the way to Shintown in order to get a ghost Pokemon to use in a rematch against the gym leader Natsume. Once they arrive at the Pokemon Tower, the home of these ghost Pokemon, they hear mysterious voices coming from the inside and become scared. The voices, as it turns out, belong to the Rocket Down trio as they are being tormented by the 3 ghost Pokemon who reside there, Goze, Ghost, and Ganger. Later, our heroes manage to work up the nerve to enter the tower, but they are quickly scared away when the ghost Pokemon use their psychic abilities to make the tower look possessed. Later, Satoshi decides to try again, this time alone. After meeting with the ghost Pokemon face to face, Satoshi is knocked out by a falling chandelier. The ghost Pokemon separate his spirit from his body and then take him flying around the town. Eventually, Satoshi figures out that the Pokemon are lonely and want somebody to play with, so he tells them that he can't stay because he has to follow his dreams. The ghost Pokemon seem to understand and return Satoshi's spirit to his body. The young boy decides that he won't be able to get any of the Pokemon to come with him and resigns himself to figuring out another way to defeat Natsume until, suddenly, Ghost appears and decides to tag along. Will Satoshi be able to defeat the Imabuki City gym leader now that he has a new ghost-type Pokemon by his side? To be continued. Satoshi, now with a ghost-type Pokemon, returns to Imabuki City to challenge the gym leader Natsume to a rematch. When the battle commences, Satoshi calls on Ghost, but it's nowhere to be found. Satoshi, unable to use his trump card, starts to run away. As Kasumi and Takeshi follow behind, Natsume's doll uses her powers to transform them into dolls. It looks like Satoshi is about to share the same fate when the bearded man from before appears and teleports Satoshi to safety. Once outside, he tells the young trainer that Natsume is divided into 2 forms, the adult, who is a serious Pokemon trainer, and the doll, which symbolizes her lost childhood. Since the only way to return Kasumi and Takeshi back to normal is to defeat Natsume, Satoshi resumes his search for Ghost. He eventually finds his Pokemon in the city and returns with it to the gym to another rematch. However, Ghost refuses to show up for battle. So, a desperate Satoshi calls on Pikachu to battle in its place. The electric Pokemon is able to get in a few hits, but all the damage it dishes out is undone by Yungela's recover technique. Just as all seems lost, Ghost appears and starts to joke around with Natsume. Natsume laughs at the Pokemon's antics, and Yungela, who had been linked telepathically to the gym leader, begins to laugh as well. Yungela is declared unable to battle, earning Satoshi a victory. Kasumi and Takeshi are returned to normal, and Satoshi is given the gold badge. The next closest gym is in Tamamushi City, so Satoshi and his friends head in that direction to get Satoshi's 6th gym badge. Orchid Harkase receives a phone call from Satoshi telling him that the young trainer has just gotten his 4th gym badge. The professor responds by telling him that Shigeru and all his other rivals have already gotten 5, causing Satoshi to become fired up once again. The young trainer decides that the best way to catch up is to develop a well-rounded team filled with many different types of Pokemon, so when a wild Mankey appears, Satoshi seizes the chance to try to capture it. Unfortunately, the only thing he succeeds at is getting his hat stolen. The Rocket Dan eventually show up and manage to anger Mankey enough to make it evolve into Okarizuru, a Pokemon whose temper is much worse than its unevolved form. The Pokemon begins to chase our heroes into a canyon until Satoshi decides to fight back. As his Pokemon attack Okarizuru, one by one, His Hitokage learns the rage technique and is able to use it to weaken its opponent. Satoshi throws a monster ball and captures Okarizuru, finally putting an end to the monkey Pokemon's rampage. Before long, everyone notices that they've already arrived at Tamagotchi City and decides that they have Okarizuru to thank for helping them get there faster. With a new Pokemon friend by his side, Satoshi enters the city so he can challenge the gym leader for his 5th badge. Satoshi and his friends have now arrived in Tamagotchi City. As our heroes walk around the city, Kasumi becomes enamored with a perfume shop while Takashi drools over the store's staff. Satoshi tells everyone that he thinks perfume is useless, prompting the shop staff to lecture him before kicking him out of the store. Satoshi says that he doesn't care about that shop anyway and heads off to the gym to battle the gym leader, but the girls working at the gym refuse to let him in. Apparently, the perfume shop had contacted the Tamagotchi City gym and had told the staff not to let him in because he hated perfume so much. Meanwhile, the Rocket Dan break into the gym to steal a rare perfume that's supposed to be inside, but they are thrown out as well. Eventually, Satoshi comes across the Rocket Trio and is told that they know a way to get him into the gym. Satoshi reluctantly agrees, and before long, he's wearing a wig and a dress. By disguising himself as a girl who likes perfume, Satoshi is able to gain access to the gym and come face to face with its gym leader, Erika. His cover is blown before long, but Erika accepts his challenge anyway, agreeing to a 3-on-3 battle. After Erika's Manjaro paralyzes Satoshi's Fushigidane, the young trainer recalls his Pokemon and brings out Hitokage. The Fire-type Pokemon easily defeats its next opponent, Utsudon, so Erika sends out her final Pokemon, Kusehana. The gym battle is interrupted when the Rocket Dan appear and light off a few bombs, causing a fire that rages throughout the gym. After everyone gets out safely, Erika notices that her Kusehana is missing and fears that it's still inside. Satoshi doesn't hesitate in running into the gym and retrieving the Pokemon, almost getting caught up in the fire in the process. Once the fire is taken care of, Erika gives Satoshi the Rainbow Badge.